Welcome, folks. Welcome to the last tier list of this little mini series of Blood Bowl with the updated rules. Now, today we'll be talking about Blood Bowl 7. What is Blood Bowl 7, you may ask? Well, your friend Black Temple here managed to get the rules, so I'll explain how 7 works. Now, 7 is quite unique. It's a fast paced, hard hitting league. Now, speed will, play a big factor here. Now, the rules are simple. In sevens, they may have no fewer than 7 players or more than 11 on a roster. So basically, for starters, you must have 7 players. The maximum you can have is 11. So it's not 16. And only 4 special players mean any player who visible less than the 0-12. So that means you cannot have lots of players. So for example, like the Chaos Renegades, who could have like 3 biggins, no anymore. You can only have 1. And the other players, like all the others, you're cut down dramatically. Each team, 7 teams are not well trained or reliable. Team rerolls are doubled their listed costs. For example, for humans, it would cost 100 gold. So basically, rerolls are rarer. So basically, if you buy a reroll, you're going to have to pay double what it's going to cost. Now, also, with 7s as well, as you can see here, there's only 6 turns a half. So that means you've only got 12 turns to play the game. Also, the pitch. As you can see here, there's only 1 line of each side in the middle, but there's no line of scrimmage. In other words, all players must go behind this line, and this is the dead zone. And the kickoff ball, you have to use aim areas between the 2 lines of scrimmage. However, for the purpose of resolving the kickoff, includes kickoff return, between the 2 lines, consider is opponent half. So basically, you got to kick in the dead zone, or back here. And also, your gold. 600,000 you're only allowed. Star players, coach staff, and extra training are removed. So there'll be no star players for this. And also, 1 apothecaries, bribes, Igors, babes, mercenaries, chefs, special playing cards, other inducements are allowed as normal. So they're still around, but the star players are not. Teams are selected. Well, this is an old rule roster, but it's the same rules. It's just now we've got the new stuff in that has changed. But what I'm getting at here is that there are certain rules and certain teams that will be partake. Now, let us go on to the team list. So let me do a quick reset and get rid of this. I hate this, guys, but I'm apologizing right off the bat. So let me get rid of this load of rubbish. There we go. I don't like advertising on what I'm doing here, but so now you know the rules and you know the limits. So certain teams will either do well or do bad. So let's start with the Amazons. Above average. Why? Well, you're only going to need the thrower and the Jaguar blockers. That's all you need. The rest, normal women, line women, cheap, easy, and you might get at least 1 reroll. Remember, you've only got 600, so you're going to probably buy 1 Jaguar blocker, 1 thrower, and the rest is chaff, 50,000 each. So if we're going to be honest, that's probably get, and plus the a reroll. But do not forget, guys, like I said, do not forget, you've got also, remember, 6 turns. So their speed and dodge is going to be crucial in playing this game. Blackhawks. Below average. Why? Well, first off, you're not going to get many Blackhawks. You're going to spend most time with goblins. So 9 out of 10, you're going to buy probably 2 Blackhawks and the rest goblins. That's it. Or a troll and lots of goblins. But then you might as well just be a goblin team. So yeah, the goblins will be hard to hit, but because of their low strength and numbers, they could have a problem. Chaos Dwarfs. Balance. Now, you're going to take probably 2 hobgoblins, couple of you're going to take a lot of hobs, blitzers, and probably 1 centaur, and that's it. But it's still a strong side, but you are slow. But because you've got a sturdy, strong side, you could make it, but you're going to have to be playing a little bold and daring. Renegades. Below average. Simple or easy, guys, and it's ridiculously simple. You're going to take the Dark Elf and 1 big guy. That's it. The rest will be just a chaff, and it's like, right, you got to hope he can get there quick enough to get a touchdown and not get murdered in the process. And what big guy would I take out of this? I'll be honest, I would take the Ogre. He is the most stable one, and he's going to get less likely to get out of control. Chaos. Balanced. Why? Well, simple. You're only going to pick up 2 warriors. You're only going to pick up is just beastmen. All beastmen. And you're laughing. I mean, yes, you don't have a big guy, but you really don't need to. I mean, you could pick up a Chaos Warrior if you wish, or the Minotaur if you wish, but keep in mind, you've only got 600 gold to play with. So, the beastmen, you could probably get like all beastmen and probably maybe 1 Chaos Warrior or Minotaur. It's up to you. Dark Elves. Balanced. Now, the problem with the Dark Elves is they rely on their blitzers. The blitzers are 100 each. So you're not going to be getting them. You're probably going to get like... I think you're going to see a runner, and that's it. And the rest is just normal guys or a blitzer or whichever one of them. But I would say the runner is the most likely person to come out. The rest is just normal chaff. Because you got to remember, 600 is your limit. And you probably want an apothecary, or you probably want a reroll to avoid danger. You are fast, but very limited. Dwarfs. Balanced. Speed. Speed is your biggest problem. And also, one of your players you are going to take is a runner. You might take 2 runners. You might take 2 runners, a Troll Slayer, and the rest is normal bugs. Still powerful, but you are slow. That's your issue. Goblins. Now, this is where it gets interesting. They go above average. Now, hear me out. Goblins are cheap. Their weapons are cheap. So you could have literally a troll, a crap ton of little buggers, and your final 3 slots will be weapons. You could probably get like 1 weapon, maybe 2 if you're daring, and have a reroll or 2. Have a reroll. Or 2 if you're smart about it. So the goblins have more advantages. Halflings, again, have more advantages. This is where they come into better play. Because 1, they're not going to be hampered. I mean, the tree men, you just get 1 tree man and the rest halflings and get a lot of rerolls to go right. I'm going to avoid much problems. What about you? And plus that, you can hurl the buggers down the field to score a 1-turn touchdown if you're so inclined. So, yeah, halflings will thrive in this environment. High elves. Shocker. Why, you may ask? Well, all the star players. Remember, you're only allowed 4. And you're only allowed 600. So if you try and get your 4 best players, you've just chewed up practically more than 2/3 of your budget. And remember, the rules state you need 7. And you can't get that. So you're going to have to really whittle down to saying like a thrower and the rest is just your lineman and that's it. With no rerolls. So you're really struggling there. And if you get like make one mistake or get caught, you're in trouble. Humans. Balanced. They only need, guys, is just a thrower, catcher, the rest just chaff, and they're laughing. Or they could go the bro route. They've got versatility on the side and cheapness. So they're good. Nobility, the same. They've got means and their linemen are chaff, easy to replace. Just buy a thrower and a blitz, a blocker, or a bodyguard, or even an ogre. And they're laughing. And they've got average speed, so they can make it. Khemri. This format does not suit them. Let me explain why. Slow. Only 4 players. You can get away with 2 Tomb Guardians and a Thrower, but that means you don't have your Blitzers to cause mayhem. And plus the fact they're not in combat. They're separated. So by the time the Tomb Guardians get to a fight, it could be too late. They could be surrounded, or they could be in a position where they can't get a hold of them. Khorne. Now, you might think, wait, they got a better chance. You're going to take... Now, the good news is that the Gribblies can hold the ball. So you could go with, right, lots of little Gribblies and a couple of Chaos Warriors to do the work. I mean, yes, you don't have the benefit of the corner gore, but you have methods. You have ways around, and they could survive better. I mean, yes, you're not going to do much blocking, but you're going to have ball handling and you've got decent speed. And you could work around it. Lizardmen. Balance. Now, 9 out of 10, guys, you're going to take probably 2 Sorai, the rest Skinks. And might get a reroll if you're lucky, but I don't think so. But the 2 Sorai will do a lot of work, but the Skinks, they're hard to pin, hard to get a hold of. Unless you're facing the Dwarfs, then you got a problem. Necromantic. Below average. Come on, guys. You know it as I do. The werewolf is 120,000. He's already chewing 1/6 of your money. And you got to remember, you've got to pay for the other 7. You might go cute and go, right, I'll buy 2 werewolves, but the rest are zombies. That means you're relying on the werewolves. The zombies are slow. And the werewolves, as soon as they get caught out, they're in trouble. Norse. Balanced. Just take normal lineman and a Valkyrie. You're laughing. I'm not kidding. That's all you need. Just 6 linemen, Valkyrie, you're laughing. I mean, if you want to go ballsy, you could go, right, Valkyrie, Yeti, and rest linemen and have no rerolls, or have a lot of guys and have a reroll. Depends how ballsy you want to be. No-go. Yeah. Sorry, no-go fans, but you're going to take Pestigors because you need someone to hold the ball. So you need 2 Pestigors alone, and they are not cheap, guys. They're not. Because a no-go Pestigor is 75k a pop. So that's 150,000. That's for 2 players. And keep in mind, the Rot Spawn and Bloaters are over 100,000 each. And you only allow 4. And the Rotters will be your saving grace because they're 35 each if you want to get a reroll. I mean, you can be ballsy by bringing in a 1 Chaos Warrior. Or you can go 1 Plague and a Rotter, but the rest is Rotters. But like I said, they're slow. The Rotters are not sturdy, and you really ask for trouble. So this format would be a strong challenge. Ogres. Below average. Now, the saving grace for the ogre is you can have the 3 ogres, you can have the 4 ogres and the rest snotlings. because Snotlings are so cheap. You can get away with it. I'm not kidding. You could literally have, I mean, ogres, right? Which thankfully enough is for next to the Nurgle team of my book. I mean, yes, ogres are 130, 140 each. You could have literally 4 ogres, or even 3, and just have a lot of noble alignment. So, yeah. Why not balanced? Well, you can guess why. Nobblers are not strong, and the ogres, you're relying on them not going boneheading on you. And remember, star players are not allowed used. That's another problem. Orcs. Balance. Let's be honest, guys. You're going to take a thrower, blitzer, and the rest is chaff. That's all you're going to be taking. But they're still a sturdy team. Old World. Below average. You can guess why, guys. Cost, and you can't have all those players to help you. So, yeah. That's an issue you're going to have to address. So basically, what you'll be taking in this team, you'll probably end up taking Old World Lineman, 50k a pop. From the specialist list, you're more likely going to take a thrower, catcher. And that's it. The rest is lineman. And hopefully get a reroll, because you need a reroll in that 7s. Because trust me, if you don't have a reroll, you're playing with fire. Pro Elves. Balance, because remember, they're cheaper, but they will not have access to all their best players. So, I wouldn't be surprised if a thrower, catcher, and 1 blitzer will be a part of the team. The rest is just the chaff. Skaven. Above average. Why? Well, let's start with the fact. The Skaven linemen are 40k a pop. Cheap and easy. You can easily go, right, I'm going to buy 2 gutter runners, a thrower, and that's it. The rest is just linemen. I'm laughing my ass off. And you could probably get a reroll as well. These guys love 7s. Snotlings. Joke. Come on, guys. Let's be brutal here. They're not going to get many players. They can't get star players. Because as it says in the rulebook, as we go back here for one brief second, star players are removed from the endorsement list. So you can't have them. You can have mercenaries, but you can't have star players. So basically, this team struggles. Now, they have pump wagons and trolls. Now, they could probably do that. You could bring in 2 pump wagons, 2 trolls, and the Snotlings will do the ball work. But keep in mind, if the Snotlings get ripped apart and 1 touchdown is scored, then the pump wagons have to leave the field. So you've only got probably like if you're the attacker, you want to cause as much damage as possible before you score. Because if you don't do the damage you need, you're in trouble. So Snotlings, joke. Undead. Below average. Now 9-10, you're going to take a ghoul and the rights. You're not going to take the mummies. Because the mummies are expensive and you want to get as much as you can. But also, your speed will be a horrific issue. Because remember, there's only 6 turns. You have to be moving every turn or get as close as you can. Because if you don't, you're done for. Underworld. Above average. Yeah. They can have a hell of a time with the Underworld. I mean, the Underworld are just absolute nightmare buggers to deal with. Because you've got the Snotlings, who are the only 6, but you've got the Underworld Goblins, 40k a pop. You've got Clan Rats you can get, 50k a pop. The Gutter Runner, Blitzer, Thrower, Troll, or the Mutant Rat Ogre. This team, I would go with, a few Goblins, a Thrower, got a runner, and a troll. There you go. I have a strong team that's going to take a lot of punishment. And if you want to be a really dirty git, you can go, like, say, throw a right out, like, got to run a throw and 2 Snotlings to get more players. But to be honest, I don't think you would. So that's a team that will make them ridiculously powerful, hard to beat, hard to hit. So, yeah. Vampires. Balance. Now, this should not be any news for any vampire players. You always start with 1 or 2 vampires to begin with, so that's nothing new. You're more likely going to take the thrower and probably the runner. That's it. The rest is just going to be thralls, and you'll probably try and get 1 reroll. That's it. Now, during the season, yeah, you could get a Voltgeist later on, but that's all you need. It's ludicrously easy with the vampires. Makes them still a balanced team. Wood Elves. Below average. Now, don't get me wrong. They are fast, hard to hit, hard to get a hold of. But it's the cost that's going to hurt them. You have to remember, guys, certain players are expensive, and you only allow 4. So, to put it simply, guys, let's look at the Wood Elves. They're 70k a pop. So, if we're going to go do a proper team here, right? Let's so I can put the point across. Right? So you're all aware, what's going on and why I'm getting at. So, let me let me calculate for 1 second, if you would. So, let me put up my calculator on my phone so I can. So, to start off with, if you're going to make this team, you're going to need someone who's going to do the ball work. Now, let's start off with, go with this combo, the thrower and the catcher. So it's 95 for the thrower, plus 90 for the catcher, then plus, like, all the 70s to make up the team. Just to get 7. So that's 7. That's 533. That's enough to give you a reroll, and that's it. Or if you want to be mega ballsy, you could bring in a War Dancer or a Treeman. To be honest, no point having the Treeman. Go with a War Dancer. So you bring in a War Dancer, 125. That's 660 with no rerolls. Now, you may think that's a very powerful list. That should be higher. But keep in mind, that's with 1 sub. And keep in mind what I've told about the Wood Elves. Their attrition rate is atrocious. And plus the fact, replacing them is also a nightmare. And you will have speed on your side. But, like I said, it's the cost. Because you got to remember, you've got to have minimum 7. And you've got to have, and you allow 4 skilled players. This is what I'm saying. Why the vampires can get away with it, because, they can pay for like 2 vampires and the rest is just their blood banks. And can get a reroll. The Wood Elves, well, similar to these guys, but the problem is, they have no rerolls. Unless you're willing to go the other route, which I'm going to suggest. With a catcher thrower, the rest is lineman chaff, and you buy 1 reroll. Because you got to remember, a reroll for the Wood Elves currently is 50 gold, so it goes to 100 gold. So basically, you would be at 635. So basically, you have to make a choice. Do you want the War Dancer or the reroll? Personally, I would go with the reroll. War Dancers can be easily replaced and returned. But rerolls are hard to get, especially in this format. And that is it for me, Blood Bowl 7s. What do you think? Do you like what you see, or do you believe someone else should be higher? Remember, there are limits in the Blood Bowl 7s. Like I said, why Chaos Renegades and Ogres and all them are lower because of certain problems, and some of the Elves teams are a bit lower. Like I said, why the Dark Elves got away with it because they don't really have many passers or many runners. Any one of them could do the job. So they can get away with it, but while Elves need a thrower or need a blitzer to stop to get things motoring. Same with the Wood Elves. They need a skilled player to make things move. But that is it for this video. If you like the videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the dinner bell, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll catch you later.